Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gaming to the Max. We are back in Hearts of Iron 4, but today we are playing Kaiserreich. Kaiserreich is a mod that pretty much answers the question, what happened, or what would have happened if Germany had won World War One. And it's an absolute amazing mod. There's so much lore behind it. It's just a really amazing mod. So we're going to jump in here. We'll do new game. And I'll kind of show you here from their main countries what we're looking at. So Canada is in charge of the royal family, or the royal family is in charge of Canada. After the failure of the Entente in World War One, Britain and France both fell to communism. The royal family then fled to Canada to bring the fight back to the home isles. And of course, Germany is still under control of Wilhelm II. Since they won, there was no reason for him to be deposed. And Austria is now in charge of the Austrian Empire is now federalized, so it's no longer Austria-Hungary, and it's under the charge of Karl I, who is the nephew of Franz Ferdinand. Russia did not fall to communism. They actually became the Russian Republic due to intervention by the Germans in the Bolshevik War. And with this new update 2.41.1, Shaanxi has an update, and that's why it shows just Shaanxi down here. That's the updated country. And of course, Japan is still in charge of by Hirohito. So, but we're not going to play any of those today. We're actually going to play the Qing government. I've played in China quite a bit, and I really do enjoy the theater, but I have not played the Qing government yet. So we're going to both learn kind of how the main government of China works over here. Before we start, let me show you a little bit of the map. So India is split into three separate countries. You have the Dominion of India, who is still a part of the Entente and who is still aligned with the British government. You have the Bharatiya Commune, which is the communist government of India, and then you have the Princely Federations, which is the non-aligned faction in India. He's a king or a prince. So then the Ottomans are still around. So the Ottoman Empire did not break apart after World War One like it did in real history. As I said earlier, France is communist, and the French Republic, which was all of the monarchists and the Republican forces that failed to stop the flow of communism in mainland France, fled to Africa, much like the Free France in our history during World War II. You have the Union of Britain. Germany is very chunky, so you got big Germany, who is in a very large alliance to have Flanders, Wallonia, Poland, Lithuania, the United Baltic Duchies, White Ruthenia, and the Kingdom of Ukraine. Those are all part of the Kaiser, the Central Powers. Let's see what else. I don't think much has changed over here except for Canada being the royal family in charge of Canada. But we'll start with the Qing government. You have His Imperial Majesty Aizenguru Puyu, and I will be the first one to say I will completely butcher all of these names. But starting out in the Qing Empire, what's pretty much has happened is the emperor is just a figurehead, just a puppet. He has no real power except for ceremonial powers, and the people that are actually in charge are one's a general or a marshal, and the other is the president of the it's Calhoun. I don't remember what he's the president over. It's like the parliament of the Qing government. And then Wu Pifu is the marshal that is also in charge of the government. So first we'll start off with our research. Get electronic mechanical engineering and basic machine tools. That's very standard for any game playthrough. We'll start building some civilian factories. We are missing production, but we're missing productions on planes we can't produce because these are German fighters and bombers. We'll start out with the Year of the Rat. As the nation prepares to begin celebrating Chinese New Year on January 24th, Assembly President Calhoun and Wu Pifu have begun drafting a speech to mark the fourth year of Concentrated anti-trade debt efforts, the largest issue currently facing the central government. The Zihili clique hopes to tackle this problem even as whispers of unrest emerge from the leagues of 8 provinces. Okay, so we'll start that. We do have a quite a large, not quite large, 33 units, and most of them are irregulars, so not great. We won't put any field marshal or anything because today my goal for this campaign is to is for the Manchu restoration, which means that we will not have a puppeted empire. We will have an actual emperor on the throne, even though he does not instill fear among the populace. But we'll crank it up to 4 speed. So at the beginning of China, if you guys would like to read this, I'm not very good at reading. I say a lot, if you guys could tell. So I'm just going to let you guys read this real quick if you want to pause and read it. Long live the emperor. So all of these nations that are the same color are kind of recognized to be not in the same faction, but they're recognized to be in controlled by the government, the Qing government, the political situation here in the Qing. But they're all pretty much, Kerensky was assassinated in Russia. They're all pretty much all in the same faction, and this is where we're having our most problem, is the League of the 8 Provinces, which is a German puppet, or not German puppet, but was propped up by the German Empire, and they have a very rough time of it, as we'll see here in a little bit. So we'll keep going on. Here's the big speech, or the speech that will come about talking about our debt, because we have overwhelming national debt. Pietro Ragnil has taken control of Russia. He's a field marshal. Makes Russia, he's known as the Black Baron. So, in any gameplay you play, even if you play as Russia, you cannot stop the assassination of Kerensky that I know of. So, the year of the rat has finished, and the speech is met with polite applause. Train talks derail in Taiyun. Don't remember where Taiyun is at, but beggars really ought not to be choosers. And then it talks about the large German railroad that was built in the League of the 8 Provinces, so we will need to keep an eye on this. And we'll encourage export farming, which gives us 1 infrastructure in Baoding, which is right here. So keep it going. German mining companies increase their operations in Eastern Shaanxi. We wish them good luck with their business ventures. He is not the person that I want to be in charge of Shangdo, but if he does keep power, then that is still okay. Widespread attacks on foreigners. We'll see what Sun has to say about that, which is in the League of the 8 Provinces. Edward VIII has taken power in the United Kingdom, or I'm sorry, in the Dominion of Canada. A very interesting history there of Edward VIII. And the same history happens here in Kaiserreich too. So, and when that pops up, we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. So, but we will actually crank it up to 5 speed, just because right now we're just waiting for focuses to occur. And we will start new taxes, which give us 25 political power, but -3 stability. We have horrid stability. The Wuhu incident. Pretty much a lot of protesters were killed over here in the League of the 8 Provinces in the Wuhu area, which I don't really remember where that's at. Excuse me. And he breaks free right here in the Anqing. Break free, so let's hope this keeps them in line. This is who we wanted. Awesome. So Zhang Zongsheng has been arrested, the dog meat general. Finally, some good news. So there was a coup in Jinan. That's one fewer threat for us. He is a not a baron. I don't. He's a warlord, but he's a respected member of the government in the Qing Empire. So then Chen Taiyun sends a telegram. So it's the leader of Qing that says, "Hey, could you guys please support me in this civil war? But if we want to restore the emperor, we cannot. So we'll say no. We will not fund rebels." Gives us -3 stability. The death of Wang Qingming. What happened to age bringing wisdom? We have a deepening leadership crisis, which gives us -10% division organization. Refugees flee League chaos. So we'll just spend the political power there. We're at 8 political power. Black Monday. So in Kaiserreich, the world is heavily dominated by the German Empire, and they have a market crash, somewhat like the United States did in the Great Depression. The problem in Kaiserreich is the U.S. both gets the Great Depression and they get hit with the Black Monday. So, and Black Monday, see here in Germany, they have 30% more consumer good factories and -50% war support. It's a very, very hard time in the Middle Europa. So France is deadlocked on who is going to become the new leader, which is funny because the Traveliers have a huge increase over any of the other parties. The bloodbath on the Yangtze, unfortunate news. And it looks like Philip Snowden has taken control of the Union of Britain. We'll do emergency meeting of senior Zili members. Telegram from Nanjing. Pretty much is letting you know that the leader of the 8 provinces, Sun Chufang, has been shot and is now in a coma. So, not good news. The Imperial Navy flees north, and we get an offer from Marshal Key saying that he will take control of the 8 provinces and try to beat the rebellions. We will tell him that he can handle this on his own. We need to do that just so they will lose faith. The people will lose faith in the Zili Empire, or the Zili clique. The ripples of Black Monday have hit us, so for the next 150 days we'll have 10% more consumer good factories. So, yeah, not good, but... And this is the worst news that can come for us. The illusion of Queen hegemony shatters. So pretty much what has happened is they all become free. So they are no longer in this, not pact, but they're no longer a part of our government. We no longer see them as equals among us. So uprising in Fujian, which is down here. Despicable traitors. So the League of the 8 Provinces has broken, and they have all started a war. So the southern governors have cut contact, and Ling Guang has broken free. You guys will break free here soon. So now we have widespread protest, which gives us -10% political power gain and -5% stability, on top of -10% stability. So now we're at -11 stability. And then Hunan secedes from the league as well. Hopefully Wu's old friends remain loyal. So we start with a non-aggression pact with them. So it's just us now. This will tell you has elected to move the Wu Pufu. However, he pointed to not throw out the telegram, so we'll keep this offer in mind. Yang Sen requests support. That is the leader of the armament government, who's authoritarian Democrat over here in Sheng Shuin clique. We can send him help, which is -5,000 stability. I think we have enough. We will send him some help. Maybe they'll stay loyal, but I'm pretty sure they usually lose. So Queen Yingong has asked Queen to help with riots. That is this man here, so we will say yes, and we'll send him 8,000 men. want him to like us a little bit more. So a lot of stuff has just happened. Pius the 11th has died in the Papal States, so I forgot to show you this as well. The Welshman has been elected in the Union of Britain, Nicholas Yglesias. Probably just butchered that as well. And the Democratic Coalition has established in Mexico. Mexico is communist, by the way, as well. Did not add that. Pancho Villa came into power, so if you guys know a little bit about the history of that, then you know that did not happen. He actually was later gunned down. So, but Italy, I forgot to mention when I was scrolling through what looks different. Italy is split up into five separate countries. You have the Italian Republic up here in the northern part of Italy, and then in the northwestern, towards the middle of Italy, you have the Socialist Republic, the Communist Italy. In the south of Italy, you have the Two Sicilies, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, with the Papal States as their puppet. And then you also have Sardinia, which is part of Italy, kind of not part of it. They are part of Italy, and they are part of the Entente. So, and I'll show you here, the Reichspakt is what they're called. That's the Reichspakt. So, we'll move back over to our neck of the woods. And we will keep going. We are on the focus deal with unrest, which is 140-day focused, and it'll take a little bit to get through this. And I want to point out really quick just the national spirits we have. We have Fractured Empire, which gives us negative 10% political power gain and negative 20% recruitable population factor. Ouch. We have Overwhelming National Debt, negative 20% stability, negative 20% construction speed, and negative 50% trade deal opinion factor. Out. Then you have Warlord Inadequacies, mobilization speed, negative 30%, division organization speed, negative 30%, recruitable population factor, negative 35%, supply consumptions, negative 30%, the only bonus of having a Warlord era inadequacies. Division defense is negative 30%, experienced soldiers loss is plus 10%, max entrenchment is negative 40%, and our daily command power gain multiplier is negative 30%. That is horrible, and we can actually fix it with decisions, but we have to have a lot of army experience. We have the deepening leadership crisis, which gives us negative 20% division organization. We have Black Monday till July 18th, which gives us plus 10% consumer good factories. We have the widespread protest, which is negative 0.1 or 0.10 daily political power gain and negative 5% stability. And then we have the Peking Commission influence levels, which is the German influence over the Qing government. You lose political power, but you gain production efficiency cap. So we'll just let the game keep going. We get ourselves an ace. So I just had to take a sip of water. The Lindenberg of the East, Sun Tonggang. And then there's the Socialist International Congress. Is this not the same last name? No. Yeah. Canada, the Dominion India went to war against Afghanistan. The 5th Anglo-Afghani War. It looks like the Nanjing Clink under Kui has pretty much defeated the Yep, there they go. They've now defeated the Ain and Kling, and now they are up against the left Kuomintang, which is the communist arm of the Kuomintang. So we will go back over here to construction, try to get a little bit more construction speed. And the people we did support were beaten in Sichuan. So the Ottoman Empire now have that prince, and then it's whispers of discontent on Wu's decision to not intervene. Small groups across the spectrum have begun to gather in secret, so they're starting to gear up to overthrow Wu and Cao Kun. So, excuse me. And there's the armament department that are asking for asylum. Those were the the general that was in charge over here in Sichuan. The clandestine meeting. So this is where we start into who's going to support us in the Civil War when we overthrow Wu and Cao Kun. And this is why we wanted Q Yingguang in Shaodong to be, because he is more aligned with us in that factor. So we will say Shandong will we ask them to help us overthrowing and trying to restore the emperor. So he accepts. Now, for Puppeted Empire, you do get stability plus 10%, which is very nice. But ominous troop movements. So this is, if you want to, you can stop the restoration and keep yourself in power. You're playing as Wu. We have more pressing matters to attend to, so we will not send more spies to investigate that. If you do, they overthrow the emperor and they form their own government. So Deng Shihu him has taken control of Sichuan, and Zhao Hengting has won the Hunan elections. So they cancel our non-aggression pact. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I love Kaiserreich, like I said earlier, and I've never actually played the Qing government. I had to play a test run to try to figure out how to restore the emperor. So that was the only playing I've had of this game, or of this country. I actually usually play as the Yunnan clique and try to restore the Kuomintang right. But Sichuan has asked help from the central government for their famine, so we will send some aid. Yeah, look at that. Major famine. I'm glad we do not have a major famine in the Qing government, because that is just horrible. So now we have basic machining tools. We will do dispersed industry 1. I always go with dispersed industry. I just like it a little bit more. And usually I don't build a lot of planes, so it's nice to have a dispersed industry. But ministerial infighting, so get on with it. Pretty much saying that we have an inept government at this rate. It's got 40 days, just about 40 days until we deal with unrest done. Legation council is voting. Manuel Carlos has taken control in Argentina, and now there's a mysterious occurrences happening. So negative 7.5% authoritarian Democrat and negative 10% command power. The legation city is not something that I did talk about. Are all of the old colonies in China that have now banded under their own government. So in charge by Nelson Johnson, who is an American. So our minstrels are still infighting, so we will pressure them to start working harder. We are sitting now at a whopping negative 223 political power. If you guys have ever not played Kaiserreich, or if you ever have played Kaiserreich, you know that most of the times, if you're in a big country, you will hit huge numbers of negative political power in this game. Now we have the NCERA congratulates the government. Naive intellectuals, so they say thanks, I guess. Not really they're not really saying good job. So it's the new Chinese Emperor Reform Association. So, and the vote has passed. So now we have summoned them to Beijing. So Cao Kun and Wu have both been summoned in front of the emperor, and the legation cities have started voting on a bailout, and their vote passes to help with the famine. See, yeah, the famine has taken a little bit. It's now not a full-blown famine, it's a major famine. So Wu and Cao prepare to meet Pui. So now the guards rush into the hall. Armed royal guards rush into the room surrounding the emperor. They move forward and attempt to arrest the two men. while the emperor flees the room. Upon hearing the commotion, the bodyguards quickly dispatched ceremony guards and rushed in, while Wu and Cao ducked behind pillars to avoid being hit. Bullets fly back and forth among the ancient pillars of the hall, smashing priceless artifacts, wounding Cao Kun. When the bullets stop, one side emerges victorious. Wu and Cao are killed, and the coup succeeds. So now we get rid of the deepening leadership crisis, and the emperor takes control. Not very, again, fearful. Great leader. He fled the room when the fire started. Then he nervously re-enters the room, gazing down at the bullet-ridden bodies of the former Jade Marshal and his mentor, President Cao Kun. Puji and another small group of Manchu loyalist guardsmen enter as well, all carrying submachine guns. Dearest brother, I believe it's time for you to make a speech. Piyu turns from the corpses and looks at Puji. He begins, his voice uncertain. I'm not sure I can do that. Puji is about to say something when General Zikiwa bursts into the room. My lord, the city is secure, he says, kowtowing almost to the ground facing Piyu. But Zhang Bali and several other Zihili generals have retreated to Luoyang. They are planning to launch a campaign to destroy us and liberate Beijing. Puji moves over to Piyu and whispers in his ear, "You are the emperor now. You must act like one." Piyu nervously attempts to gather himself. I, the Zhongtong Emperor, son of heaven, formally proclaim any member of the Zili clique who do not swear loyal to me by tomorrow, who do not so by tomorrow noon, to be traitors of the Great Qing. So, this is all we lose, right? So we get a plus 150 political power. We modify the fractured empire, apply plus 5% political power gain and plus 5% recruitable population. We complete focus deal with the unrest, and we also get the Manchu restoration complete. We will take over with the Zongxi party. Public elections will not be held. The Social Liberals will join the coalition, and the Social Democrats will also join. We appoint the advisor Asian Giro Puji, who is our younger brother. He offers us plus 5% stability and plus 20% war support. He is also promoted to a field general. And we lose pretty much all of our generals. That's why earlier I said I'm not going to place a general in charge. We end up losing them all. Halo, Eastern Sengji, Yangwang, and 7 other provinces become a demilitarized zone. We delete all of the Zili infantry brigades template and remove all units created from the template, which is these 13 irregulars. And we add the Zili Manchu Civil War, which grants weekly manpower negative 750, negative 20% stability, and our production efficiency cap is negative 20%. And then it tells us who joins our empire, or who joins the Qing government. The Shandong clique does. So death to the traitors. We do annex that clique. Excuse me. Whew. And we will secure plans for northern China. We get negative 10% authoritarian Democrat, and Zhang Shao will no longer be a demilitarized zone. So we'll hit start. We'll hit play. So now we have the imperial coup. There's the emperor there, and I think that's supposed to be his brother there. I can't really tell in the photo. So long live the empire. His brother, if you want to read a little bit about him, I will click on him, and this pretty much tells you all about him. He was born in 1907, so he's relatively young. He's 29. He is not married, despite rampant suspicion that the empire is infertile. He looks almost exactly like the emperor. That's the emperor. That's his brother. I mean, they look relatively similar, if I do say so myself, but they are brothers. So, he is westernized. So his brother didn't get any, like, real college education. He never really got educated except for Cao Kun and the Marshal, the Jade Marshal. But his brother went to Germany, went to Berlin, and went and got westernized. So you do have that there. He is brand new at being a marshal, though. As you can see, he's recently promoted. He has Reckless, which is planning speed plus 20, but he gets a chance of wounded in combat plus 50%, and he's politically connected, so he gets a negative 50% promotion cost, and he has a negative 10% leader experience gain. So, I think this will end it for episode 1, and episode 2 we will finish out the Civil War. So I hope you all have enjoyed episode 1 of the Qing Empire, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.